Hello everyone and welcome back to Cameos episode 4. As I always say, it's been a while. However, this time, I mean it, have you seen the date of previous episode? Yeah, it was October 2016, it's July 2017 right now, so yeah. Anyways, before I start rambling more and more, let's just get into the video. Matt is a friend of mine I met also during 2015 Amsterdam cosplay meeting. At the time, they already stood out to me with several funny things they did on camera, and a lot of funny dialogue happened between us that day. As time went on, I kept seeing Matt appear on more and more meetings. No matter what city, we would definitely run into each other sometime. So I got used to it and enjoyed the idea of it. Matt is a very sweet person and also really funny most of the time. I feel like it's definitely one of those people you can joke around with a lot. After a couple of months of simply meeting each other, I noticed that soon every con I went to, Matt would definitely be there as well. Since it's 2017 now, man, I realized we already know each other for 2 years. Boy, does time fly. 2. Yaoming. Your time has come. Yaoming is a pretty good friend I met at Rimu's UCM cosplay meeting back in 2015. He was back then already a guy asking for attention on camera all day, and it was really funny to me. As time progressed, I slowly started seeing him more and more, not necessarily on cosplay meetings. As I got closer to Chanel and her friends, I noticed him being more and more part of that group, which was also really fun. I started seeing him on sleepovers, meetings, and now also on cons. So he also is everywhere pretty much. We never really communicate one-on-one and hardly ever chat personally, but I do feel like Yaoming is a person you'd miss if he wasn't there when the squad is together, so yeah. Number 3, Larissa. Larissa is a very good friend of mine I met at the Amsterdam cosplay meeting back in 2015. Again, at the time I remember we bonded over an anime called Donten Niwarau, since I knew pretty much nobody that knew about the show, and she cosplayed a character from it. I also was one of the few people to recognize her cosplay, which she also really liked. Larissa in the beginning was fragile and kind of shy of a girl, to say the least. She was already really fun and someone you could talk to, once she was comfortable, that is. But she clearly did appear kinda young in a lot of ways. Soon I started to see her more and more on meetings until the cons started happening, and she was pretty much everywhere in 2015. Fast forward, we got to know each other a lot better, and I've seen her on many cons and meetings in the last 2 years. She as a person really had her character development, since she feels like she became pretty mature in her thinking and a lot more outgoing than she appeared to me back in 2015. I can tell she shaped into something new. In the beginning we didn't talk that much aside from meetings and cons. However, nowadays we chat all the time really, which is totally great. I really respect the girl for many reasons, and in the beginning that we started talking we had a lot of Japanese conversations for some reason. But yeah, it's a fun weirdo. Number 4, May and Charmay. Yes, I'm putting these two together since they are practically one set. I met May and Charmay back in 2015 when my good friend at the time, Hejai, took me to her friends, who I did not know at the time, to go to a party. The party was at Charmay's house, and I had never ever met any of these people, but they turned out to be really cool, and it was a really fun day. May was at the party as well, and their squad, and from day one they were really nice to me. Thinking back, I remember them always sending me voice messages over WhatsApp, being hella weeb and shit, talking Japanese or singing some stuff. Those were pretty funny moments to me actually. As time progressed, I started meeting their squad at cons more and more. They aren't really people that go to every little convention, but if there's a slightly bigger con, they will most likely be there with their entire squad. May and Charmay both are very cute, crazy and talented, as they both possess very amazing singing voices. I'm very sure they could be great voice actors, honestly. Guys, it's 2017, it's been 2 years. I will make it my mission to make an awesome project with you two in it this year, so be ready. Anyways, I run into these weirdos all the time, and they really are fun to me. They never fail to entertain me or bring a smile to my face, and same goes for the entire squad they often bring with them, so it's really cool. Number 5, Dylan. Dylan is a great guy that I met in 2015. He appears a lot in my vlogs and videos now that I think about it. He's everywhere, really. But unlike many others in this series, I did not meet him through cons or meetings actually. I met Dylan through Skype. Previously mentioned Mimi from Cameos episode 2 and I were Skyping with each other a lot for a while. And she had met a couple of people through cons as well. Dylan was one of these people and joined the Skype call one day. He even appeared in my first con video I ever made. If you know what he looks like, you'll notice, but it's a very quick cameo, so you barely see it. I remember that before I met him, I thought he was a very short guy, but when I met him for the first time at Rimu's UCM cosplay meeting in 2015, I was in shock how tall this dude was, like really. Anyways, from that moment on, I kept meeting him and seeing him on a lot of conventions, and he always makes a cameo on camera, which is always really fun to me. HoHo. For someone I don't really see that much or talk to often, this dude really grew on me as a person. HoHo is one of the people that I also met at Charmay's party in 2015. Back then, I don't really recall talking to him that much. He was always just kinda there, but as we soon went to the same birthday parties and sleepovers, so we started to know each other a lot better. Once that happened, I started seeing him on cons and some meetings and even on sleepovers. One of the things that got me and HoHo to bond is trash talking each other really. And it's kind of an ongoing event, so... Number 7. Jack. Oh man, this guy here. So Jack is one of the people that I met back in 2014 actually, when I went to Nom Nom in Rotterdam for the first time. Just like Johanna, I think he worked there and was part of the crew. I also had not talked to him in years before I for the first time met him again on a convention, and it took a little while before we actually started conversing. I remember in 2015 when I ran into him at one of the Rotterdam cosplay meetings, he out of nowhere started announcing the day and kind of bringing an intro to my video. This kind of became a thing, and he continued to do that every con or meeting I met him. As this started, we just kinda kept doing it and made it almost an official thing every time we meet each other at a con. He's a real cool guy and always funny to have around. I really respect him, and I do really like how it turned out how he now intros a lot of my videos. You could see him as a host of my con vlogs, I guess. In 2016 Abunai, I had my biggest vlog created ever and I wanted to make it spectacular. So I asked him to come with me so we could this time deliberately have him host one of my vlogs and make an intro for it. And I gotta say, it was quite a majestic opening. Anyways, Jack is a great friend, and I stated Johanna is some sort of big sis type to me. I figured Jack also really fits that role of brother type figure in this community, and I hope that in many to come projects he'll be part of it at least once or twice, you know. Number 8, Laura. Laura is a super adorable girl I met at 2015 while I was walking through the halls with my group. I at the time had no idea who she was and we actually didn't communicate much at all. She just appeared and bombed my video for a second, and I think I saw her a couple more moments that day, but we didn't really talk that much. Laura then started to appear more and more as I went to more meetings that year, and that got me to talk to her properly and to get to know her a little bit more. I, in the end of 2015 and the rest of 2016, saw her a lot at cons, and she's always a very cheerful person to have around, which is always really nice. Number 9, Bob. Bob is a friend of Dylan that me and Chanel met at 2015 Abunai. He's a really nice dude and sometimes joined us at our quest for adventure. I don't have a lot to say about Bob since we don't personally hang out or talk a lot, but I do want to say that he's an actual really nice guy and he does in fact appear in a lot of places. So because he makes a lot of cameos, he in fact deserves a place in Cameos. Number 10, Femke. Femke is a very good friend of mine I met in my journey of going to cons. And if there's one thing I can say about her is that she could win a prize for most entertaining person to be around, really. I met this girl in 2015 Tomo Fair for the first time, and I remember how she looked so adorable. She was very unused to having a camera pushed in her face, so she was kinda awkward with it. But as I got to know her better through Skyping with Chanel and all the others, I noticed how this girl's pretty much totally crazy. She always is very funny, and I'd say actually pretty cool sometimes, but pretty much crazy most of the time. She over time clearly got a lot more used to me and the camera, as it shows in a lot of later cameos she made. In these past 2 years, I ran into this girl so many times that it's not normal anymore. Just look at the compilation. All in all, Femke is a great friend and always ready to jump in front of the camera and do some weird shit. And Fem, if you're watching this, it's 2017, I've known you for a long time now, and it is time for you to appear in some sketches or short films or music videos or stuff. I don't know, drop a mixtape or something. You're a thug, right? I don't know. Anyways, that was it for the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the long gap between episode 3 and 4, but as I stated, I really do intend to make this, so these episodes will be pushed as well. I hope, I think. So give it some love. But be sure to leave it a like and share it with some people that you saw appearing in the video, or some other people that know the people appearing in this video. I don't know. How much more, like, the more love Cameos gets, the faster I boost these episodes. So yeah, press that like button, and till next episode.